Okay, Friday, 2nd of August, 2024. So Future Friday, plan and strategize. Sharing things, sharing smart stuff men should know. So, AI took my client. So, long story short, a client got in touch and talked about how no longer need my services, choosing to use AI. Fair enough, I understand. Happy chappy, I understand. Now, the principle here really is we have to embrace AI so as not to be, ironically, replaced from it. We have to understand AI and use it as a tool, not to fight, not to go against it, but to embrace it, to understand that the technology is at the box. Things are going to happen, clients are going to leave, businesses and jobs and industries are going to be invented and created, and it is what it is. We have to accept and adapt. I did a video about this as well. Accept and adapt. Things are on their way, and we have to embrace AI. And people are going to use it for their own needs, whatever reason, to replace businesses. Fair enough. So I was reading an interesting book about AI, and it talks about AI per se won't replace people, but people with AI will replace people. Now, it's interesting because also I use it extensively in my businesses in all kinds of ways. Don't fight this stuff, Zen. Go with it. And this client here is going to use it in their own way. And I'm kind of tempted to give them some ideas and some techniques as to how I'm using it. Hey, we'll see. But the point is, it's here. We have to embrace the technology. We have to get ready for it. And Zen, don't fight it, but embrace it. So, for example, one way that I use it with my clients is, it's a chat system. So it answers any question. So on that principle, on that basis, use it in that way. So I use it to generate a lot of questions, open-ended questions I can use with my clients for different reasons. Conversation, low, simple conversational topics, more complex topics, and all in between. And the more I understand about my client, the better I can customize and bespoke my services to them. Fair enough. But one thing I really like to do with them is I like to ask, write me an essay, 200 or so words, immaterial, of something they believe in, something they're passionate about, something they care about. Doesn't matter what. So they write about it, then ask AI to argue 100% against it, a complete opposite angle, argue against it, and then give us, say, 5 open-ended questions based on what they wrote, get us thinking, whatever else. Subjects like that. That way then, we're using AI in its purest form in terms of information gathering and whatever else, and replying to conversation and creating questions and conversation from thin air. Zen, embracing it. And it's that kind of adaptation which is going to make a lot more businesses, industries, or whatever else unique. Not banning this technology, no, embracing this technology. Interestingly, this book that I was reading on AI, near the end, it talked about that in the future we will be using it to outsource a lot of services. For example, actors. They would have an AI agent that would go out there and pitch the actors' performance, abilities, talents, whatever else, and the movie companies would have the opposite end. They would have AIs going out there talking with agents quote unquote, with a specification as to what the movie company needs, and the AI, the actor's AI, will be talking. They'll be doing some proto-negotiation between each other, discussing, planning, strategizing, and if there's a general match, then they would hand over to the humans, and they will take over negotiations. Whoop. Gotta be careful with the noise. So they'll outsource it then from AI to the humans. Powerful stuff. So we have to get ready for this AI. It's on its way. And the fact that I had a client that left me to use AI, a difficult decision, fair enough, shows that it's not just theory. It's not just pie in the sky thinking. It's actually happening now. And then we have to figure out how to use AI. The ways we're using AI in 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now will be completely different than how we're using it today. I did a video about this as well, about predicting the future. And ways 15, 30 years from now will be completely different. And if you tell me something today that will be laughed at, then that probably will be normal way in the future. So all kinds of ways of looking at it like that. So AI is on its way. Embrace it, use it. It's difficult to say now where I don't use AI. I've used it in a lot of things, a lot of layers and businesses and concepts I have right now. And where I haven't used it, difficult to say really. It's quite difficult to say. And that's telling. That's telling. We want to be ahead of the curve when there's new technology out there ahead. So we're on the cutting edge of innovation. Because I noticed, and I think I mentioned this in a video or so ago, that the longer we don't use any new technology, AI, doesn't matter, immaterial, the longer we don't use it, then the harder and the more expensive it'll be to catch up. Because as we're stagnant, doing nothing, inactive, the technology is gaining pace and getting faster and more complex, evolving, so to speak. And then the learning curve is exponentially, well, linearly certainly, bigger and bigger. It's more and more complex, harder and harder to catch up because there's more and more to learn, and it's going to take a lot of time to catch up and energy. So yeah, all these things are happening. So we have to be careful. AI is on its way. How cool is that? And it's here. Yes. But do I blame the client or have any issues? No, it's not a problem. It is what it is in terms of business decision. Fair enough. And now the impetus, the motivation is on me as an individual, as a man, as a businessman, to improve services, make things even better. So innovate. This is an amazing book called The Blue Ocean Strategy, and it can be condensed down to being as unique as possible compared to your competition, doing things that they don't or can't or won't, or doing less, doing more, whatever else. Therefore, you're more unique. Therefore, the competition becomes increasingly irrelevant and redundant. They can't compete intrinsically, naturally as it is. And it seems to be the higher the value proposition you have in your business in relation to the price. If you solve this many problems, provide this much value, yet you cost this or down here or whatever, and that gap, that distance, that delta, the bigger that delta is, the less likely someone is to leave. Generally speaking, there's so many factors at play, even things that today I can't enumerate or even articulate or fathom, but in the future it'll be so obvious. So it's worth understanding that AI is here. Use it, get ahead of the curve, be innovative. It would be akin to people 100 or so, 120 years ago, 124 years ago, saying cars are here, oh they're there, but now the horse and carriage is superior. And you continue using the horse and carriage into 1900, 1905, 1910, and 1915, 1920, 1925, you name it, and it gets harder and harder to maintain everything, even standing still in terms of horse and carriage business, when cars are 100 years ago ubiquitous. So it's the exact same premise, exact same principle here. The longer you take to adopt this technology, like any other technology, the harder it'll be to maintain the competitive advantage. Very fundamental, yeah. But otherwise, fair enough. Otherwise, Future Friday, sharing smart stuff men should know. You will see me tomorrow.